Hello guys, welcome to this Wild Card Playoffs edition of Malin Sports, and we're talking NFL Round 1 Wild Card Playoffs, and we're going to start things off with the Cardinals and the Panthers. Now, I recall these very two same teams meeting a few years ago in the 2008 playoffs. It was the divisional round. It was in Carolina, in which we seen Arizona absolutely beat the crap out of them in a score of 33-13. Now, I like the Cardinals winning this game, and I'm going to tell you why. If their defense is functional, I believe Arizona is one of the most dangerous teams in the NFL. They held the Dallas Cowboys to 17 points in Dallas. Then 2 weeks later, they held the Detroit Lions to only 6 points. That's two playoff teams that their defense has completely taken away. Now, the only problem, of course, as of recent, has been quarterback situation and the offense in general. We got Ryan Lindley, who'll be making his first playoff start. Now, in my opinion, Lindley is not a bad quarterback. And of course, you're probably going to look at me and say, Don, what the heck are you talking about? I mean, 4 touchdown passes only, and then you got 11 interceptions and a passer rating of only 50%. That's not exactly numbers that coaches get excited about. Well, personally, I don't get too concerned about quarterbacks who have a rough start to their career, because I know a quarterback who entered the league in, I believe, 1998, and he threw 28 interceptions in his first year. So, I mean, you freak out about that, right? But today we know Peyton Manning to be one of the best quarterbacks of all time. That was his stats for his rookie year. So, don't get too mad at the guy about a rough start to his career. I see him coming through this weekend. I see him breaking out. I don't know, there's something about this kid. I see potential in him. And against Carolina, I think he's gonna come out and have a good game. Speaking of Carolina, this team was dead. I mean, flat out dead. If I had the number correct here, 7 losses in a row. Who would ever imagine the Panthers would be winning the division and in the playoffs? If you would have asked me at any point in this season who the NFC South champion would have been, I would not have said the Panthers. Even with 2 or 3 weeks to go, I would not have said the Panthers. I think everyone would have said either Falcons or Saints. Personally, I said Saints. I ended up looking pretty dumb. It wasn't even close. But we are talking about the NFC South, so I guess it can't be that big of a surprise that Carolina is here. You know, there was a division where everybody was struggling. You know, they had a blowout win in New Orleans that convinced me that they are a team to be reckoned with. Then there was the 34-3 win in Atlanta. Those were 2 blowout wins on the road against divisional opponents. And the win in Atlanta capped off the division. The Panthers are only 4-4 at home this season, so that could really go either way. Cam Newton wasn't great this season. He tossed 18 touchdowns and 12 picks, 3,127 yards passing. Now, when I look at this game on paper, it says very obviously that the Carolina Panthers should win this game, but I believe that football is a game of more than just numbers and stats. If you don't believe me, ask the New York Giants when they played the undefeated Patriots in Super Bowl 42. I mean, number-wise, they had no way of winning that game, but they did. I see the defense for the Cardinals coming alive, and I see Ryan Lindley playing a very good game. It's not going to be a high-scoring affair. I'm going to say Cardinals win 20-14. All right, now let's head over to the Ravens and the Steelers. Now, let's be honest here. Le'Veon Bell or no Le'Veon Bell, the Pittsburgh Steelers are a very, very scary team. Now let's take a look at Big Ben. 32 touchdown passes, only 9 interceptions. 4,952 yards passing. His main man Antonio Brown, 1,698 total yards receiving, and 13 scores to go along with that. This defense is not the steel curtain now, but it is definitely a championship caliber defense. Now, absolutely no offense to the Baltimore Ravens and their fans, but the San Diego Chargers deserve to be in y'all's playoff spot. That's just the way it is. Now, we had Pittsburgh defeat the Ravens 43-23 last time these two teams played in Pittsburgh. Now, Baltimore did win earlier this season when the game was played in Baltimore, but that was the beginning of the season. This is a different time of year. I feel like it's going to be a very good game because history is always repeating itself. I'm giving this one to the Steelers, 24-20. Bengals at Colts. Now, we had the Bengals and Colts play in Indy in Week 7, in which the Colts won 27-0. So there's plenty of reason right there to pick Indianapolis to win this game. But then, hold up, we get to Week 16, and we got the Bengals taking down the Broncos 37-28. That's a really big contradiction. It's very easy to get excited about the Bengals now, as it is just about every year. But here's the facts. Andy Dalton and the Bengals have not delivered in the playoffs yet. So I really can't personally get too excited about them right now. Now, not that Andrew Luck and the Colts have done much better, but they are definitely the better team right now. Whether the Bengals have A.J. Green or not, somebody has to step up for this Bengals offense to take that load off of Green, off of Dalton, and off running back Jeremy Hill. Oh yeah, speaking of Jeremy Hill, if he gets going, game over, Bengals win, the end. If not, and I don't see the Colts letting him get going, I'm picking the Colts to win 30-17. Now, our last wild card game of the weekend, the Lions at the Cowboys. I'm going to go ahead and tell you this straight up. The Dallas Cowboys are my pick to win Super Bowl 49. Yes, I said it. And it starts with a win over the Lions. Now, Detroit is a very good team. Do not get me wrong. And they got Stompin' Sue back. Like that, I came up with it on my own. They're going to have Sue on the defensive line. But let's face it, the Cowboys are too dangerous of a team this year. Tony Romo is finally playing at a high caliber level. Now, if he can only make it through January like that, DeMarco Murray is no doubt one of the best running backs in the league. Des Bryant is a beast. So is tight end Jason Witten. The Cowboys have come together, ladies and gentlemen, and they are ready to make a deep run through the postseason if they can just... I'm so sorry, Cowboy fans. If they can not choke when it matters the most. Okay? Cowboys win 28-20. That's my pick. And that's all I got for Wild Card Weekend. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoy the rest of Wild Card Weekend and the rest of the playoffs. Feel free to comment and tell me your opinion on this week's game. And here's what I want to know from you guys. Who is your Super Bowl pick heading into the playoffs this week? I just want to hear your Super Bowl champion for now. Who is your Super Bowl champion? Before the playoffs start, we'll talk more next week when we get the divisional round of the playoffs, the divisional edition on Malin Sports. Hope you'll join me for that next Friday. I'm excited. I hope you all are excited. It's going to be a great playoff. Thank you guys for joining me tonight, and God bless you.